You can do whatever you want. Okay, here's my audience. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people here. And I'm also going to film them on my phone to make sure that I get it all. So say hello, everyone. Okay. So the speech that I'm going to be giving y'all is about why children under the age of 13 should not be using smartphones. And I just think this is a very prominent issue that we're dealing with because, you know, you see every single day kids walking around with their nose in their phones. So that's what my speech is about. And so here we go. So today, in today's society, we see more and more often that children are on their smartphones in restaurants, airports, shopping malls, and even parks. Now, this may seem like something that's becoming more normal, but how is this affecting the children in America today? Now, this is affecting the adults in this country because the future generations are becoming less communicative with others because they're getting less face-to-face communication. So because of this, they're having these developmental skills that aren't forming, and they are not going to be contributing members to society in the future. I've done a lot of research on this topic because I'm studying to be a speech-language pathologist, and believe it or not, these smartphones are actually affecting how our children speak and how they formulate sentences, and sometimes it can completely block them from being able to communicate with one another. Now, I've seen firsthand, and I'm sure all of you have too, that there's a screaming child and mommy and daddy hand them their smartphone to calm them down. Now, this may seem innocent, it may seem something that needs to get the job done, but how can this really affect the children? Daniel Howley wrote an article about what can happen when we use smartphones as a pacifier for children under the age of 5. Now, children that are still in a young developmental age that spend just 30 minutes a day looking at smartphone screens can have a 49% increase in speech delays, which is just absolutely insane that it comes from just the smartphone. Now, what this speech delays mean is that they're learning to speak later, formulate sentences later, and communicate with themselves and their family members later in time. Now, this means that children are going to fall behind in their development before they're even in kindergarten, just because mommy and daddy hand them this iPhone when they're screaming. Now, Laura Brown wrote an article discussing how long children should spend on their smartphones per day. She suggests that children under the age of 5 should not spend more than 30 minutes a day on these devices. Now, that may seem kind of like a given, but look around you when you're at a restaurant, when you're at a mall, you see 2, 3-year-olds with their phone screen watching movies on mommy and daddy's phone to keep them calm. And like I said earlier, this is detrimental to their speech and language skills. Now, she even puts a limit on high school students, saying that they shouldn't be on their devices for more than 2 hours a day. And I'm sure we all know high school age students that are on their phones for maybe a little bit more than 2 hours. But if these experts are giving these limits, even for high school students, not to be on their phones for 2 hours a day, then why are we giving 10-year-olds unlimited access to their smartphones? Now, lots of times children ages 9 to 12 use social media platforms such as Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat, which all include adult content. Now, giving children unlimited internet access through these smartphones is enabling them to see this adult content at an age that they should not be. Now, if experts are warning about all these negative side effects, why do we continue to let our children use these smart devices? I have heard the argument that, oh, I want my child to have a phone so that they can communicate with me. And that's great because phones can be very necessary in certain safety situations, but why does your 10-year-old need the latest iPhone? Amy Kraft suggests that we should start our children off with what would be considered a dumb phone, which is just the old school. It can call and it can text mom and dad, and it doesn't have the endless capabilities that a smartphone has. She also suggests for parents that feel that their child is responsible enough for a smartphone, that they need to know every single password to every single social media account and take away the phone during homework hours, family meals, and social outings so that they don't become obsessed with these phones and that they're aware of their surroundings. So if parents just take a look at all of the facts that are happening and really looked into this, we wouldn't think that so many children would be walking around with these phones because they are so detrimental to a child's development and overall language skills. Thank you. And here is my audience again. They all listened the whole time, and they were great.